Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Vintage Geek Extra Play Along. This is your buddy Stars here, coming to you on a late-ish Thursday afternoon here, and we're going to take a look at a little game called Donkey Kong, but not the Donkey Kong you were thinking of, sort of. This is actually a sequel that Nintendo released in 1994 after several years of planning. As you can see here, it definitely, unquestionably starts out almost exactly the same as the original. And there you heard the power of the mighty Super Game Boy. Oh, whoops, well, starting off good, just like we did with Donkey Kong Country 2. This was the last Donkey Kong game, rather, specifically, that Shigeru Miyamoto worked on. It was originally planned for the 10th anniversary of Donkey Kong and of Nintendo's success in the video game market. Ended up not coming out in time for the actual anniversary. I think as a way of addressing that, they added Donkey Kong Jr. to the original Mario Kart, which did come out, I think, in the at the very least in the anniversary of the U.S. version, which was would have been in 82. It's the basics of Donkey Kong. You're Mario, you're running around trying to save Pauline, who has been captured by Donkey Kong. And as you can see, it uses the same level layouts, at least initially here. Gotta wait for that fire to go away. So it kind of starts from that position of, let's remake the original Donkey Kong. And they surmised, correctly, that most people would probably be buying this out of nostalgia. But because Nintendo was at the top of their game there in the early 90s, they decided to do a little bit more with this. And as you can see, after getting off to a rough start there on the 25-meter stage, I'm kind of getting my legs under me here with Mario's controls. That fireball just about got me. You can do some incredible things in this game that you could not do in the original, such as throwing your hammer and then catching it, which allows you to take your hammer onto different levels without losing it or having to wait for it to finish, run out of time like you did in the first game. So here's the big twist. You finish the last level of the Donkey Kong arcade game, and then suddenly he decides to take Pauline somewhere else. So this is a Game Boy game. This is, to me, the perfect Game Boy game, because it has a ton of depth and a ton of content, while also being incredibly simple and quick to get into. Thankfully, with my bad performance at the first there, it's worth noting that lives come at a dime a dozen in this game. You get so many of them that you're just never going to run out of lives. I say that, and I'll probably end up dying like 9 times in a row here and just losing everything. But, you see some of the additions that they made for this game, because although it didn't manage to come out in time for the 10th anniversary of the arcade game, it did happen to come out right as they were planning the Super Game Boy. The Super Game Boy was an add-on cart for the Super Nintendo that you could get that would allow you to play Game Boy games on the TV. something that I don't think they would have thought of, you know, in the earliest days of the Game Boy, because, you know, a lot of the games at that time were just very, very simple, very easy. You know, games like Gator's Revenge, the pinball game, or even stuff like Super Mario Land, and you know, other early games that eventually became pretty complex styles of games. Didn't have a ton of content, didn't have a ton of stuff. People were expected to play it on the go. But as the Game Boy continued to just do incredible numbers, because like largely at first because of Tetris, but then they ended up building the success of Tetris into turning the Game Boy into a full-on video game console with plenty of exclusive games that are arguably as good as most of the stuff on the NES, or in some cases even the Super NES at the time. Even though it does have fairly primitive graphics, I think it was a little bit less powerful than the NES was. But the Super Game Boy came out in the mid-90s, 94, I guess, in the US. I'm not sure exactly the year in Japan. It may have come out the year prior. But, you know, the Super Game Boy, by the time that it came out, there were enough games on the original Game Boy that you actually kind of did want to play them on a TV, because they were good enough. And, you know, obviously, this is right before Pokemon came out in the US. Excuse me, in Japan. And obviously that took off in such a way that something like the Game Boy, Super Game Boy, would have been almost required. Because even though the original Game Boy had all these social features and everything, it was just really nice to be able to play it on a screen. God knows that's true for me, because the first Pokemon game that I ever played, and actually the last main series Pokemon game that I ever played, was Pokemon Red, and I played the entirety of it on the Super Game Boy, on my Super NES. The Super Game Boy was not, it was not remaking games, they were not special versions of the games exactly. But what they did have going for them was the fact that the Super Game Boy could add features for TV. So as you can see here, it's in full color, well-detailed color, actually, I think. It is got some extra sound capabilities that it's able to use sound channels on the Super NES for. And this game, Donkey Kong 94, as it's often called, though technically the name is just Donkey Kong, was the flagship game for the release of the Super Game Boy. And honestly, I don't know that they could have picked a better game for that. Oh, we're so dead. We're so dead. Could see that coming. Presumably, you know, I kind of wonder, I mean, obviously, canon, what you want to describe as canon in the Mario games is a little shaky. Get up! But this is, I would presume, the first appearance of... This would have been the last appearance of Pauline for a long time. And this would have been, I guess, technically the first appearance of New Donk City as it is portrayed in Mario Odyssey. Yeah, so the Super Game Boy added some cool features, usually nothing very big. Probably the craziest thing is there was a remake of Space Invaders for the Game Boy, and I believe if you played it on a Super Game Boy, not only could you play the Game Boy game, you could also play the arcade version of the original Space Invaders by connecting it to a Super Game Boy. And it was kind of just like a neat additional feature. I mean, it was probably like an 8K ROM at the best, so it's probably pretty easy to fit it on a Game Boy cartridge. But, almost got that. So obviously, especially compared to the original Donkey Kong, Mario has got a much expanded list of moves that make this game a lot more fun than the original, unless you're the competitive type and you want to try to compete for like a gigantic high score. I think that this game is incredibly fun. Mario feels really, really good. Out of context, that's going to sound strange. Mario feels really good to control in this game. So you got a hat. Got a hat. Oh, and a Donkey Kong. Yeah, that Pauline sample of her saying help very much changed from what you get in the just normal Game Boy version, where she goes, "Blear, blear, blear." Are we gonna make it? Oh, just barely. Wow. It takes a lot of the you know, like the difficulty level that came from the original Donkey Kong, in the sense that you know, you're a little bit limited on how you can move. You are kind of slow, and they take that fact and they combine it with the more acrobatic Mario of later games, starting with Super Mario Brothers. And Mario feels a lot more acrobatic without it taking away the difficulty that's added from there we go. The difficulty that's added from you know, the style of movement and everything like that. Obviously, in a game like this, if you could move as cleanly and as easily as Super Mario does in the Mario games, you'd be a lot more capable, and this would be a much easier game. Thankfully, not the case. Let's see if we can get that. Well, that was avoidable. That was an avoidable death. Mario pulling a Steve Jobs there. Let's see. This game, you know, as I mentioned, the first appearance of New Donk City, theoretically at least, it is the city in which Donkey Kong captures Pauline, at the very least. Also, apparently, and we'll probably not see this today, but also apparently the first appearance in the timeline, the Mario timeline, to the extent that it exists, of Super Mario. This game, at the very, very end, Mario has to fight a giant Donkey Kong. And when he does that, Pauline actually throws him a super mushroom. And it is implied to be the first time he turns into Super Mario. Of course, that does raise a whole host of questions. In the sense that, oh, almost had 3 hammers. Would have been worth exactly 1 1-up. What's up, sucker? barrels. How do you like it, Donkey Kong? How do you like having barrels thrown in your face? I guess he wouldn't know, because I've only done it once. Not having the best luck here. There we go. I think I'm just doing it out of order. I think he's got a pretty observable pattern here that I'm not doing anything with. Yeah. A lot of detail on Donkey Kong's ass in this game, which seems weird. Not sure exactly why they're doing that. Donkey Kong's complete confusion over Mario's ability to pull a lever. It's nobody said that Donkey Kong is smart. Donkey Kong is a gorilla, after all. New Donk City's in the past. We're going into the forest. Apparently, people on the development team of this game were worried about the fact that the first 4 levels were just the levels from the arcade game. There we go. And they were worried that people would see it, start the game, see that it had the original levels from the original game, and then get mad and then take the game back. Which thankfully didn't happen. This game, as far as I can tell, actually did pretty well, in terms of, like, sales and stuff like that. Oh, boy. One of the more successful Game Boy games, as a matter of fact. It ended up getting re-released on the Player's Choice line that Nintendo had. Let's see. Down here. Oh, no! Oh, okay. The ladybugs don't do anything. They just kind of walk past you. This is a game that I never... Well, I guess I did own it later on. Sometime in, like, the mid-2000s, I got a copy of it. Because it was one of my favorites. But, there was a copy of this. My school had a daycare system. And it was basically just you go and sit in a different room at the school until your parents pick you up. But they had some stuff that you could do there. They had like one of those little Fisher-Price pool tables and, I don't know, different kinds of toys and like, that kind of thing. My parents were, kind of both, they both worked for, a grocery store chain, Kroger. My dad was the manager of the meat department, and my mom was the manager of the bakery, which sounds like it's something out of like a Pixar movie or something, but it was the truth. And uh-oh, yeah, he got us. No getting out of that one. But yeah, so, you know, they were, working a lot in the early afternoon, and, you know, when I was 8 or 9 years old, I was, I think probably not old enough to, be on my own, and, I ended up in that daycare system for a little bit. Not too long, because eventually my mom got a shift change, and, was not a big deal, but, while I was in this daycare, you know, I was bored and looking for stuff to do. There were only a couple of kids in that system, so, you know, not a whole lot of people to play with or anything like that. I did have 1 or 2 friends in there. But I remember screwing around one day, and just kind of looking at stuff, and found out that there was a Game Boy, with like 3 games. One, of course, Tetris, because that was packed in with it. One was Dr. Franken, which was like a bad, well, I don't know, an okay platformer, American-made platformer, where you play as Dr. Franken, who is inexplicably actually Frankenstein's monster. And then this game. This was the third game, and definitely the best and most popular one. It became a whole thing with multiple people in that daycare class where we were all like playing this game and trying to see how far we could get and all this other kind of stuff. And that became, for the whole time that I was in that daycare center, not center, I guess, that daycare thing at my school, pretty much until I left it, what we did just about every day was all rush into I mean, even kids older than me, kids younger than me, everything, we would all just kind of crowd around this one Game Boy and play Donkey Kong. So some more memories there, for sure. But it doesn't hurt that the game itself is actually... Oh, I'm alive. No. Yes, no. Let's reverse these things. And we'll just... I didn't even need the key to begin with. I don't even know why I was carrying it around. Really need to think about these things, but I guess while I'm talking, it's a little hard to do. Help! I did at one point beg them to let me bring in my Super NES with the Super Game Boy so that we could play this game on the TV. And they would not let me do it, probably wisely on their part, because I almost certainly would have just started bringing in Super Nintendo games, like, right after that. Oh, darn. But I mean, also it was daycare, so like, who cares? It's not like they were trying to teach me something and I was playing Donkey Kong instead. I think it was also the only room in the school that had cable. So we would watch, like, I guess Cartoon Network is what we were watching, but, because that was definitely my preferred network. Even at the time, I did not have Nickelodeon growing up, because we had satellite. Oh, come on. That would have been so slick if I'd jumped through those things. Don't know why I'm having so much trouble with this. This is usually not this much of a problem. Yeah, I specifically, I remember watching Toonami on it, because Toonami came on, like, right after school. While we were playing this game, me, influencing everybody with my ADHD, we not only would play this game, we would also watch, like, The Real Adventures of Johnny Quest. Yeah, now we got it. Those flowers can enjoy that ladder for now. Yeah. Drinking a soda here that I got from Swig. The quickly expanding. I can't believe I got a 1-up on that. So hoping I'd get a 203. Even as fast as I'm dying, I already have 28 lives, and it's just the second world. This, of course, is just straight up the first level for... Oh, no! I thought he was gonna climb up and go off the side. Okay. Yeah, this is just a straightforward remake of the first level of Donkey Kong Jr. Complete with these berries that you can kind of knock off to kill... I don't know... Oh, I got stuck because I was reaching my arm off. Oh, well. Um, now I can't even remember what I was saying. Oh, claptraps. I don't know if these are technically claptraps as they appear in the Donkey Kong Country games. I feel like that makes sense, but also at the same time, that would be the only enemy from the original games that shows up in the new games, aside from Donkey Kong himself, who's obviously a hero. Although I guess in Donkey Kong Country, I think you technically play as Donkey Kong Jr. Although it's also never been clear to me, because sometimes they talk about... They definitely imply that this Donkey Kong that we're fighting right here, the original Donkey Kong, was... eventually became Cranky Kong in the later games. I don't know exactly how Kong society works, but apparently they can and will change your name to, you know, highlight the fact that you're old. Seems ageist to me, but, you know, whatever. And then I guess that would make... Oh, yeah, we made it. Okay. I love how the music in this level just stops. Okay, maybe we won't have too bad of a time with this one. I really love the way that these, colorized Game Boy games look. They use such weird colors sometimes, for the, changes. Yet again, I cannot catch a break on this thing. This game, also successful enough that, they eventually did make a sequel to it. A couple of sequels, as a matter of fact. Kind of started a sub-series, which is the, Mario vs. Donkey Kong series. And I didn't realize for a long time that's what Mario vs. Donkey Kong was. Never had a copy of it, as I mentioned, I think in our, I don't know, one of our other play-alongs, I mentioned that I kind of dipped out of games a little bit, at least new games, in that period, and that was a byproduct of that. I never played, like... I also never played, like, Donkey Kong Jungle Beat, or, Bongo Bash, or whatever those games were called. There we go. Let's see. I don't think I'm going to be able to do what I was going to try to do. Okay. Yeah, I'm just wasting time anyway. Yeah, the Mario vs. Donkey Kong series, I think they made a few of those, mostly on the GBA, but I think there was a Switch version that came out. Don't know if it was a remake or if it was a new game in the series, but something I really like to go back and check out, because I, again, really, really love this game. This is one of my most fondly remembered games of my childhood. Oh, man. I was hoping I could jump over the door and get the one up. Oh well. Not like I need them. Even as badly as I'm performing, I'm still getting past with quite a few lives. Again! Wow. This time it wasn't even statistically likely. It was like a 50-50 shot there. Whoops. Okay. Let's see if we can't. Oh, no, we cannot. Okay. Well, I screwed that jump up. Can you? Yeah, you can't go up ladder like that. Can we get there before? Oh, so close, and it's gonna kill me. Oh, no, maybe not. That one will, though. Oh, so I think what we gotta do is we gotta capture these bugs. So they're just out of the way. I think that's what we're gonna have to do here. Do 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 do. Okay, so there's literally no reason to be over there whatsoever. Oh no! Mario fell and hit his head. Now he's dead. There we go. I think that's what we need. Let's close that right back up. Whoa! Almost lost control of my game there. Had some kind of PDF open. I think it was something I was downloading before I started here. Yeah, Mr. Ladybug. Or Mrs. Ladybug, I guess. Oh, no! Do 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 do. Ah! I got greedy there. I was gonna try to jump on the ladybug and get up ahead of it. As usual, my hubris has cursed me to failure. I think I just gotta get that guy up there, and then we're done. Yeah. How you like that, Mr. Bug? They made the wise decision. Originally, this game was going to be one of those styles of games where you're like picking up new abilities every single round. Or every single set of levels, I guess. And thankfully, this game doesn't do that. Instead, they gave you access to everything right up at the front. So I gotta go on this side. That would probably be the smart thing to do. Yeah, I guess because I came to this game relatively late. I don't think I even knew it came out when in like 1994. Well, we lost that key. All right. That's okay. We got time. Yeah, I don't really associate this game with like 1994 in video games. I really think of it more in terms of being a contemporary to like the N64. I think that's just because it was probably about 96 that I started getting into it. But in my mind, I have this game associated with stuff like Wave Race, and I remember a friend of mine named Jamie. He got, yeah, 3-up. About time. A friend of mine named Jamie, he got an N64 that year. 96, I guess. And I remember him telling me how he almost cried because his parents got him a copy of Cruisin' USA, but it was before. I knew there was no getting away from it. I should have gone the other way. Yeah, he got a copy of Cruisin' USA and didn't know at that point that he had an N64. So he thought his parents had gotten him a game that he couldn't play, and it upset him quite a bit. That was also, and this will I think probably say something about what an antisocial introvert I am. I remember the first time I ever saw a kid from my school at a grocery store. I remember pretending that I didn't see him because I could not handle the dissonance between seeing somebody at school and seeing somebody at home. Really wilded me out at the time. Pretty sad, honestly. But also, we weren't like super close friends. Those two things probably happened at about the same time, and we really only hung out in daycare. So, but I've never gotten out of that. I still pretend not to see people when I see them at the grocery store. Probably shouldn't have done that. That was probably a big waste of time. Get that hat, son. Yeah, over here. Oh, nope. Okay. Whew. If only I could still reach. Oh no, we passed up the purse. Damnation. It's the first one we didn't get that on. Not that it matters, it doesn't keep track of completion or anything like that, but... As far as I'm concerned, if you give me a set number of things that I can collect in every game, I'm gonna collect them. If at all possible, no matter what it does for me. When I originally played this game, my main familiarity with the Donkey Kong series was... Donkey Kong Classics on the NES. Oh, you can't even jump on those guys. Terrific. Yeah, Donkey Kong Classics on the NES, which I don't remember if those actually had the accessory items or whatever, but I can tell you that when I played this game and first saw those, like the umbrella... obviously I could tell what the umbrella was, but I had absolutely no clue what the hat was, or especially the purse. The purse just looks like a big padlock or something. Let's see if we can get in here and get this. Yeah, there we go. Well, let's grab this hammer and see if I can hammer these big-eared freaks. Oh. Yeah, I don't think I can get it across there. That's alright. Be slick and get that one up and get out. Wish those guys would run off the cliff there and make this a lot easier. Guess we'll go up and around. Hey! There we go. This also was the first appearance of a lot of Mario's most famous moves from Mario 64. Something that struck me because, you know, as I said, this was the first time I had, the first time that I played this, it was in the N64 era, right as soon as Mario 64 had come out. A lot of these images of Mario's head look like they have, lipstick on in the N64, or I'm sorry, in the Game Boy version. Super Game Boy version, is what I was trying to say. Really struggled with that one. There we go. Let's see, I think the door is at the bottom, so we can probably get these other things on the way out. Just gotta run in place on this treadmill. Yeah, yeah. Now we're talking. Oh, hurry up. Hurry up. Hurry up. Okay. Just barely made that one. And there we go. Textbook performance. I bet that T sound just hit really hard. Sorry about that. I bet it didn't deafen anybody. Yeah, another 3 up. Things are looking up for us now. Things are looking 3 up for us. Alright. Let's see, another barrel stage. Hey, he's still got it. It's one of my favorite one-off Simpsons video game jokes. The arcade is having a meet and greet with Donkey Kong. And Donkey Kong's just sitting outside of the arcade waiting for people to come up. And the Italian Italian guy that works at every store comes out and tells him, sorry, Donkey Kong, you're not a drawer anymore. Donkey Kong whams him in the back of the head with a barrel. Hey, you still got it. It's the classic Charles Bronson voice there. Can't believe with as bad as I've done so far, we're almost at 50 lives. Again, speaking of my hubris, I kind of expect that we'd probably be able to tear through this game pretty quickly. But I don't know that that's going to happen. I think we may be looking at... This may be a 2-parter as well. Maybe Donkey Kong month here at Vintage Geek Extra. We'll just have to see. Definitely am planning on returning to Donkey Kong Country 2. Because that game's real good as well. That guy over there. Excuse me. Sometimes those sneezes just sneak up on you. Oh, how much do I care about that hat? Not very. Not very much. There we go. Take it out of here. Yeah, hubristically, I did believe that we would tear through this game, so I think maybe we'll try and see if we can finish this world, and then, that jump button didn't work at all there. Wonderful. But yeah, we may just hop back to this at some point. Really, realistically, I'm hoping that we'll be able to do some more kind of long series, you know, sort of like what they used to do with what did they call it? Let's Plays. And that kind of thing, where it'd be like a long series of somebody playing that. I never got into long plays on YouTube. I actually didn't really start watching YouTube for things that originated on YouTube until like 2018 or 2019, something like that. I just, for whatever reason, I like, you know, I associated YouTube in its infancy with stuff like, you know, late 2000s YouTube, your Freds and your Afro Ninjas and all that kind of stuff. Your Lonely Girl 13 or 15 or whatever. Never liked any of that stuff when I was the demographic for it. So it wasn't until I realized that people were making like actual, you know, video essays and stuff like that on YouTube that I started getting into it. And now here I am getting paid to do it, which is a wild turn, in my opinion. And then once Let's Plays became like a thing, like I knew about them through, because I was a Something Awful user and, you know, knew about the early days of where that originated. Yes, okay. I was afraid I was going to go too high on that one. Oh, that crab is invincible. Robo crab. Part crab, part robot, all cop. Yeah, so once it kind of came out of the Something Awful era of like text-based Let's Plays, and started becoming, you know, a video thing on YouTube, I just never really got into that in its early days, and then, you know, people like PewDiePie and like that, the whole cadre came out, and PewDiePie was incredibly irritating even before he was a Nazi. And now he's just an outright Nazi, and he's still irritating. So it's like the worst possible combination of traits. So I definitely, while I do think that I missed out on some fun stuff, by passing up that entire, like, generation of stuff, I still don't think it was too big of a deal. Oh, there's that backflip. The first backflip, the first triple jump in this game. Good stuff. All moves that Mario went on to use in Mario 64. Sadly, there is no long jump here, which is how I play 90% of Mario 64. I really with a, yeah, see, look at that little portrait of Mario. It looks like it has lipstick on it, but like in a weird way, like he's like some kind of like racist figure from a turn of the century, minstrel advertisement or something. Here, push my butt so I'll fall through here. There we go. I'm actually not entirely sure what I'm supposed to be doing with this ladder. There's no possible way I'm going to get up there fast enough. So let's just hope we don't need that ladder. Take that, early 20th century diver. I don't need that hammer. Let's see here. It's not either of those. Boy, I wish I had not thrown that key up here. Oh man, please don't tell me I'm gonna have to go all the way back down. Can I throw it far enough? No, of course not. Well, we'll try and remember that for next time. the Donkey Kong on the side of the fake arcade cabinet there on the bottom left, speaking of weird facial things, looks like he has a third eye in the middle of his head. That's real weird. Eat man-sized key, Michelin Man. There it is. Yay, we did it. Funny feeling I'm gonna get another one here. Yep. Today at the Swig, the ever-expanding Utah soda cocktail store, I picked up I really thought I was gonna make it. Oh well. Yeah, at the Swig, I picked up, I've grown quite fond of making up my own weird soda cocktails with their ingredients and stuff. So, I created today actually created a brown sugar, cherry, and lime Coke. And I don't think the brown sugar was the right thing to add into it. It's far from gross or anything like that, but it's contrasts a little bit with the fruit. Pull the switch, you idiot. There we go. Yeah, not so sure that the brown sugar was the right decision there. It's a little too caramelly, but oh, come on. Oh, terrible timing. Yeah, the fresh lime and the cherry were really good in it. But, yeah, I think the brown sugar maybe adds like an almost honey-ish taste that doesn't quite benefit it. Far from bad, but just not ideal. Those, of course, are supposed to be big cement blocks, presumably like a thwomp. But because they don't have any kind of faces on them, they end up looking more like giant marshmallows. Yeah. Sometimes you have to beat Donkey Kong to death with barrels. Other times you just kind of have to look at Pauline. Both seem to be equally dangerous for Donkey Kong. I want to say there are either 6 or 8 stages in this world. I'm sorry, worlds in this game, rather. So this may be... This is either halfway or just under halfway through the game. Probably going to finish these last 4 levels. We do try to shoot for like an hour-long video, typically. We're going to see if we can... get through these last couple of levels here and then probably take off. I think other people are using the space here, doing some stuff for our various radio stations. Oh, I know that that's possible. Ah. Can't get the timing quite right. Ah, well, I guess we'll do it the way that we're intended to do it. What I was going to say a little bit ago, I end up using a lot of speedrunning techniques when I play games, particularly games like this, that I do have some experience with. Not so much because I actually care about speedrunning. I don't. But what I do care about is not waiting for anything that I don't have to. You know, call it impatience if you must. But I cannot handle sitting and waiting for things. And almost always kills me. Did we get all the items in that? I genuinely don't know. Guess we'll find out. Nope, we missed the purse. Big old padlock purse. Let's see. Probably stop and look at this so I know what I'm doing. Let's see here. Go up and grab that, and go all the way back down, because our thing is not going to last. Put that right back there. Can I jump up and grab the ladder? Of course not. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get up there. Alrighty, well, let's try it this way then. Oh, you know what I could probably do? I'll just do this. Oh, no, that's not even going to work. Okay. Terrific. Terrific. Alright. Let's place this one and go across. I don't think I actually have to have... I'm not going to make it over here either. Oh, just barely. Wow. And of course, oh, I see what it's wanting me to do. Okay, okay, we got it now. We got this Donkey Kong situation under control. There we go. Get the astronauts across the way here. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Screw you, Moon Man. Yeah. I swear to God, this roulette is out to get me. It's not like real life roulettes where you're pretty much guaranteed to win. Oh, now I see what. Okay. Alright. Oh boy, I hate these things so much because you have to just stand there and wait and wait and wait for them to come back. Not sure what the purpose of that is. Oh, so he can push me. Okay. Uh-oh! Yeah, get across here. Open that door. Pop the... Oh, this game and its ladders. So the ladders will stop building if they encounter any kind of object, even a space next to an object. Or a space where an object was counts against that, so... I was never a big Game Boy kid, mostly because my parents never bought batteries, like, ever. And I could never remember to ask for batteries while I was, you know, out at the store or whatever. I don't know what the deal with that was, but I just could not connect the two things. I never really asked for much from my parents anyway, but mostly because the things that I wanted were all video games and they were way too expensive. Oh, no! Needed that barrel, I really did. Yeah, you roll on it out of here. Jump this way. Oh, that is a long way to have to travel to hit Donkey Kong with a barrel. I did own a Game Boy. My grandmother got me a Game Boy, I think it would have been Christmas 1990, or 91. I would have been 3. Probably 91, but it was the original set that came out in 89 that included the Tetris cart. I did not really understand how to play Tetris until I was like 12. Just because I didn't understand it as a little kid and didn't want to continue playing it. But I had some good Game Boy games. You know, obviously Pokemon was a huge deal. That came out in the US when I was 10, so I could not have been a more perfect time for that. But I also owned a copy of Killer Instinct, which came out right around the same time as this game on the Game Boy. And I remember one time we found out we were allowed to bring our Game Boy to some kind of school outing that we had, where we really just kind of went across the street from the school and stood in a yard and ate pizza. Pretty good day for a school day. But I remember at one point I was losing really badly because I didn't know how to play Killer Instinct, really. And I was playing the Game Boy version. I was playing TJ Combo. And I just started mashing buttons and not even looking at the screen. I was looking up and talking to a friend of mine. And I just kept mashing buttons, and I looked down and I had done a 64-hit combo. So that can tell you a lot about that version of that game. In any case, that is, I don't know, roughly half of Donkey Kong 94, as it is sometimes known. So I think we're going to go ahead and end it here, but I am going to save this game, and we'll probably come back to this sometime next week. Maybe even kind of get in the mood to do just like a bonus video, and we'll just finish this out entirely. We also have the second part of our Donkey Kong Country 2 series coming up next week. Look for that probably Tuesday. And I think we're gonna start working on streaming, and like actually streaming, not just recording videos of me doing stuff. So you know, if you're interested, keep an eye out for that. We'll probably post a time and date on the YouTube page once we know something, and kind of blast that out across our various socials, by which I mean YouTube. And I guess that's really all we've got other than the website. But we'll post about that and on my personal socials, Discord, and all that kind of stuff. Haven't really decided what we're going to do, but I'm kind of hoping that we do maybe 2 streams a week. We do one where we just kind of, you know, play through a game kind of like these that are going to take a few, you know, sessions of playing to actually finish. I'd really like to go back and play, I don't know, Chrono Trigger or something on here, maybe even Earthbound. Would be a lot of fun. Yeah, we want to do 1 stream a week where it's kind of a longer thing. It's, you know, continuous over a few weeks. And then maybe also just do a stream of just whatever. Like, whatever comes to mind, whatever requests you guys have, all that kind of stuff. So, if you have anything that you would like to see on our upcoming streams, please feel free to let us know here in the comments. Feel free to give us a like and a subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I'm sure you're probably used to hearing that at this point, but God knows I don't subscribe to everybody that I probably should. So just a reminder to make sure that you guys do, that you don't make the mistake that I made. Look at me as a cautionary example. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and get out of here on this Thursday afternoon. I'm going to go have some dinner, and hope you guys have a great rest of the week. Bye.